Trauma kits and first aid kits. What's the difference between the two? Which one should you own? These questions will be answered in this video, so let's get into it. So let's talk about trauma kits first. Trauma kits are going to be used whenever something catastrophic happens, something that could mean the difference between life and death. These are going to include things like chest seals, combat gauze, tourniquets, MPAs, things like that. Something that if you ask yourself, if I don't get this fixed right now, would I die? Now, depending on what kit you carry, things like that, the type of trauma kit that you may need may differ. So there's different ones like belt mounted ones. There's the kind that you can slip behind plates or maybe in an EDC kit like I do with this one, or standalone kits that you can just slide in a vehicle or something like that should you need it if the time arises. Now, if you haven't figured this out already, if you're looking through different websites and you're either building a kit or you're buying a full kit itself that's already got the equipment in it, you're going to find that trauma kits normally run more expensive than the first aid kits. Even with them being more expensive, though, you don't want to try to skimp on it and try to find some unknown brand that may be cheaper, because when it's the difference between life and death, you're not going to want something to happen to the equipment that you thought was going to hold up. You're going to want that higher end stuff. Now, as far as trauma kit pouches and stuff, there's different websites that you can get them from. So I'm not going to tell you one or the other. Blue Force Gear makes really good ones. Fair Concepts makes really good ones. Just find whatever type you need. Look at the different people that have them and pick one from there. As far as where to get your supplies from, you want to make sure that it's a reputable source, and you want to make sure that it's tried and true, such as a website like North American Rescue. Now let's talk about first aid kits. This is just a 1 to 2 person first aid kit that I bought from Walmart. It works for what it was intended to do. These are going to be used for when situations ain't life or death. If you don't get the issue fixed right then, it's no big deal. You may just have to deal with it a little bit longer. These are sometimes referred to as boo-boo kits, which is what I like to differentiate between the boo-boo kits and the trauma kits, because technically speaking, trauma kits could be called individual first aid kits, but I just like to call them boo-boo kits. These are going to be used for situations such as, you get a cut on your finger, you accidentally burn yourself very minorly, or you get a headache and it won't seem to go away. These kits are going to include things like Band-Aids, ibuprofen or Tylenol, burn creams, ointments for bee stings, stuff like that. If you're allergic to something and you know you're allergic to something, highly recommend putting that in there. If it's an EpiPen, I might err on the side of putting it in the trauma kit, because sometimes you could die depending on how bad your allergy is. Now, with these, they're normally less expensive, almost always less expensive than trauma kits. Like I said, this is one that I had bought from Walmart, and I think it maybe ran me $15. In a trauma kit, one tourniquet is going to run you almost double that, sometimes more than double that. Now, with either of these kits, you can either buy them in full kits, or you can look at what you need and pick and choose what you want to put in there, which is what I recommend doing. Different people are going to need different stuff in different situations. Now, with both of these kits, whether you have the trauma kit or you have the first aid kit, whatever you do decide to put in there or you carry in there regularly, make sure it's, one, from a reputable source, and two, make sure you have the proper training on it. The equipment that you carry in your kits is only as good as your skills to use them. So the big question, which one should you carry in your kit? Me personally, I recommend that every single person have at least one of each in their kit, depending on where you have different things stored at. For me personally, I find myself needing to use my boo-boo kit once a day, maybe once every 2 days, but I use it quite often. With my trauma kit, hopefully I may never need to use it. However, if I do ever need to use it, it's going to be a really good feeling knowing that I already have it and I don't have to worry about anything. Now, that's just what I personally do. You look at your activities that you do, your different needs and things like that, and make that decision on which one you want to carry, if not both. But this is a decision that you personally have to make, and make sure that whatever decision you make, you can sleep good knowing that you make that decision. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. It really helps me out a lot. If you have any questions for me or you want to see more content like this, let me know down in the comment section below. But until next time, I love you, God loves you, and we'll see you in the next video.